What is energy? A client once told me that I was the queen of energy. This isn't just something people notice, it's who I am. And I'm willing to embrace this part of me fully. What about you? For a long time, I was the relaunch queen, and it fit because I'd had my share of relaunches, but what we focus on grows. And if I kept holding on to that title, the universe was going to keep testing me more and more. I don't just want to keep relaunching myself. I want to help people relaunch. And the way we do that is through energy. I've seen energy move mountains, change outcomes, create new lives. So there are 5 types of energy. I want to break it down. Welcome to Relaunch to a Rich Life. And today may go down as the best topic that we have ever done. Why? Because it seems to be one of the hottest topics out there. What is energy? A client once told me that I was the queen of energy. And then others followed. And you know what? It stuck. And honestly, it wasn't the first time I'd heard something like that. Since I was little, people have said things like, "Oh my God, Hilary, you got the greatest energy." Or when I'm around you, I just feel better. Even, yes, you're the energy bunny. Well, after hearing it so many times, I finally realized this isn't just something people notice. It's actually who I am. And I thought, all right, I'm willing to step into it. I'm willing to embrace this part of me fully. And let me ask you, what about you? Is there something people have been reflecting back to you your whole life that you haven't fully embraced yet? Because often that's where your real crown is waiting. So let's talk about this. For a long time, I was known as the Relaunch Queen, and it fit because, yes, I'd had my share of relaunches. But here's the truth. What we focus on grows. And if I kept holding on to that title, the universe was going to keep testing me more and more and give me more of those relaunches. And listen, I believe in relaunching, and relaunches are powerful. They're how we grow, how we rise, how we stretch into our goals and dreams. Those are the empowered relaunches, the ones that actually elevate us. But there's also a flip side to it, the hard relaunches, the ones none of us ask for, the divorces, the health crisis, the aging parents, the losses that stretch us through the pain. And while I know those definitely will come, it's called being human, I don't want to keep crowning myself with them. I'm done. I'm done with those. Now, I don't just want to keep relaunching myself and keeping this to me. I want to help people relaunch and rise, relaunch and rise. And the way we do that is through energy. All right, so let me give you a little story here. I'll never forget the moment that my mom had been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. Her call, "Hilary, I've got 13 lesions on my liver." It was devastating. It was the worst day of my life. But from that day, I went all in. Keeping her alive was my 100% goal. I needed to believe in a miracle. And as months passed, surgeries, chemo, radiations, I got to tell you, things looked really abysmal. They looked really bad. And then there was one thing that I was focused on that always lit my mom up. And it was Diana Ross. We grew up singing every word. I mean, we're talking records, 8-track tapes, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. But she had never met her. Never met her. So I made it my mission. I poured every single ounce of my energy into making that moment happen. I found out that Diana was performing at the Wynn in Las Vegas, and I called the venue. I tried every angle to make it happen. Every time I heard a no. I even called agents and managers, and they're like, oh, nope, sorry, nope, she doesn't do those backstages anymore. But I refused to let my energy drop. Well, the night of the show, it arrived. Diana Ross was right there on stage, and I had no access, no plan. But I remembered the science of mirror neurons, the way our brains sync with energy that we actually see. So I tuned in, a process that I have developed that I use with thousands of people. Success is crazy, crazy, but I'd never seen it like this. So when Diana touched her hair, here she is on stage, touching that big, fluffy mane she has. I touched mine. When she lifted her hand, I lifted mine. I locked in with total energy alignment. And then it happened. She actually looked at me. She mirrored me back. I pointed at my mom. I mean, imagine this. I fluffed my hair. She fluffed hers. Like, what? I touched my cheek. She touched hers. And again, I started pointing at my mom because what had happened at that point? She's like, I'm going to bring somebody on stage. I'm going to bring them up and dance. And I'm like, no, my mom has a cane. She can't get up those stairs. There has to be another way. There has to be another. Then she's like, I'll call someone else up on stage. I'm like, no. I kept leaning in. I kept looking at her. I kept touching my hair, my face. She did the same. And then Diana Ross, this global icon, this amazing woman that my mom idolized, did something extraordinary. She came down off the stage. She beelined right from my mom. She walked straight to my mom. She danced with her. She sang to her. She whispered something into her ear. To this day, I still don't know. And then she hugged her. Seriously. I mean, really? Doesn't get any better than this. That moment, it was pure rocket energy. It was a miracle that created from the baseline of what I call my tune-in process. And it elevated my frequency. I was able to do it. I kept my energy up for months making this happen, all on demand. And it's why today I step fully into this new identity, the energy queen. Yes, I'm raising my hand to you. I'm willing to own it because I've lived it. I've actually seen energy move mountains, change outcomes, create new lives, the impossible. So there are 5 types of energy. I want to break it down. Energy isn't just one thing. It shows up literally in 5 ways. There's physical energy, your body's fuel, sleep, movement, nourishment. Without it, everything else collapses. My non-negotiable. Every day, I need to get outside. A walk outside literally will reset and recharge me. Then there's emotional energy. Number 2, emotional energy. The vibration you carry and allow. You walk into a room, you feel it instantly, don't you? The highs and the lows. Boundaries become energetic shields. Do we need to work more on those? Number 3 is the mental energy, your clarity and focus. Neuroscience proves that your brain can only hold one dominant thought at a time. When you scatter it, And then creativity, just like you lose it, right? You don't have it anymore. It shuts down. So we need to protect it. And again, where you put it, that vision will flow. And then there's spiritual energy. This is your purpose, your intuition, that best version of you where you're so connected. Alignment. This is where my tune-in process I mentioned before. That's where it connects with me, with my highest self, that best version of me, and keeps me moving forward with literal, like there is certainty around it. I knew I was going to have Diana Ross meet my mom somehow, some way. And it happened. And then there's the bioenergetic energy. Some of you might not even have heard it. This is the point where science meets spirit layer. Your cells talk in frequency. Your heart's electromagnetic field radiates 10 feet out. People feel your energy, sometimes even before you speak. Neuroscience twist here, everyone. Most people don't realize this, that your brain mirrors energy. Remember that Diana Ross moment? It wasn't magic. It was neuroscience in action. And again, when she fluffed her hair, I fluffed mine. When she lifted her hand and I lifted mine, my energy was tuned to hers. And what happened? Her brain mirrored it back through her specific mirror neurons. That's what pulled her force to me. And that's what brought her down off that stage and straight to my mom. It's not just theory. This is how our brains and bodies are actually wired. We just don't use them to bring in our goals, to bring in our dreams. And when you actually elevate your frequency, your neurons fire differently. Guess what? These happy hormones that are in our body just waiting to be released, like dopamine and serotonin, they rise. And when they rise, cortisol drops, and your prefrontal cortex, the visionary part of your brain, it actually switches on. So let's talk about translation right here. Energy changes your brain, and your brain actually changes your reality. That night with Diana Ross, it wasn't just extraordinary. It was my own living proof. Everything was coming together. Connection to understanding everything that I've been pushing out there in the world. This connection for you to have with your rich life. That's why over the next coming episodes, we're going to dive deep into energy. What's involved here? Each of these types of energy, the physical ones, the emotional ones, the mental ones, the spiritual, and the bioenergetic ones, with experts who embody them. Because living a rich life isn't about money. It's about fulfillment, freedom, connection, purpose, and energy is the invisible thread that ties it all together.